bullish or bearish, whether you're a rookie trader or a rock star, we believe there's room for everyone. Every Filipino can learn how to trade. We're just your average Joe. But together, let's take advantage of the greatest equalizer of wealth ever, the stock market, where millions can be made and lost in a click of a finger. The journey to trading mastery is a lifetime, and we're here to stay. We are ZFT, and this is where the hot money is.
Okay, so yun, good evening. Welcome sa ating AskZFT podcast for tonight. This is episode 50, and we'll be continuing yung segment natin for this month, right? So, meron tayong new segment for AskZFT. It's entitled Trader Thoughts. So, dito sa segment na to, ang gagawin natin is we'll be exploring insights and yung mga tawag nito, insights, post, and analysis of markets from different traders outside of our community. Okay, so itong mga content na to, you can actually check them on YouTube, on Twitter, meron din siya sa Google. Okay, and what we'll be doing tonight is more on summarizing those content, and bibigay din ako ng sarili kong commentaries and analysis doon sa mga sinasabi ng ibang traders, right? So for tonight, ang topic natin is yung Keys to Super Performance by Mark Minervini. So at the end of this episode, ibibigay ko sa inyo yung link to the full webinar to this etong pag-usapan natin. Okay, so actually meron na tong webinar na diniscuss ni Mark Minervini and another trader, nakalimutan ko lang yung name niya. So pinag-usapan nila to, and yun, ang gagawin natin is we'll be summarizing what they have discussed in that webinar. Alright, so first and foremost, what is super performance? So if this is the first time that you have heard this term, then it just means hindi pa kayo umaabot dun sa level na yun. Okay? Yun lang yung ibig sabihin nun. And even I myself, if I'll be honest, I won't categorize myself as a trader with super performance. So yun yung goal nating lahat, including your mentors. So super performance, guys, hindi ito yung just being consistently profitable, right? So sabi nila, there are multiple levels in trading. So you start as a losing trader, and then after being a losing trader, which you will spend a lot of time in that phase, ang next doon is magiging break-even trader ka. Okay? So remember, in the market, 95% are losing. Okay? So ito yung mga tao na talagang over the long term, they will lose money, they will lose their capital. So if you cross that level from being a losing trader to a break-even trader, ibig sabihin, you're already better than the 95% who are losing. So malaking ano na yun, malaking achievement na yun. And I need to emphasize that because some traders na nagpapakonsult sa akin, they would say na parang they're frustrated sa performance nila kasi daw hindi sila kumita. Okay? Especially in this kind of market. So alam natin, di ba, PSE medyo matumal talaga. Okay? Very rare yung mga magagandang opportunities. There are leaders, there are good trades, but it's very different from the market sa 2020 and even yung mga markets before like 2017, 2018. Sobrang ganda i-trade ng PSE during those times. Pero ngayon, it's very non-trending and it's more on just focusing on the true market leaders. May ganun yung PSE now. So, etong mga traders na to, magpapakonsult sila and frustrated sila kasi hindi sila kumita ng sobra-sobra. Hindi nila na-hit yung mga monthly quotas nila. And then I'll ask them the question, did you lose money during this condition in the market? And some of them would say na hindi naman sila natalo, right? They just didn't earn based on their expectations. So, when I listen to these traders or pag nagpapakonsult sila, I tell them na the mere fact na hindi ka natalo, the mere fact na you're operating now at break even, it means you're already doing a really good job in your trading. Okay? Kasi minsan yung nagiging benchmark natin sa trading is performance ng iba, which is very common, or kung hindi man yung performance ng iba, yung sarili mong expectations or quotas. And if you do that, then talagang ma-frustrate ka because there will always be another trader out there who will do better than you. Hindi talaga yun maiiwasan. And there will always be instances na yung expectations mo sa performance mo is hindi mo talaga ma-achieve. So I don't think na that should be your basis for your analysis or parang assessment mo sa sarili mo as a trader. You need to have a benchmark. And if you want an objective benchmark, the best way to compare their performance is using the overall market. Okay, like if you're trading the PSE, kamusta ba yung index? Or if you don't want to look at the index, try to Google ano ba yung performance ng mga mutual funds ngayon? Ano ba yung performance ng mga index funds? Are they doing better than you? So if they're doing worse than you, which is syempre ayaw natin 'yon, 'di ba? Kasi some of us are invested in these funds through our insurance or siguro may mga investments ka in mutual funds through your bank. So we don't want them to lose money. But if they're losing money, and ikaw naman, eto, break even ka, it means you're actually outperforming the market. So that's very important for you guys to realize na hindi all the time na kailangan sobrang ganda ng performance mo. Sometimes you need to have that proper benchmark. Right? So the reason why I'm telling that is I need to compare that with what super performance is really all about. So yun nga, no, it's not just about being consistently profitable. Super performance is actually having the kind of performance na with your trading, yung level of reward na nakukuha mo sa trading mo is beyond what other people are expecting from you. Okay? I think that's the best way for me to describe super performance. And that can vary from one trader to another trader. So, kunwari ito si Minervini, no? If you try to Google about him and meron siyang parang historical record of all his performances, super performance for him is getting that triple digit return for the year. So triple digit percentage return. Ibig sabihin, at least 100% return over 1 year. Yun yung super performance sa kanya. And as someone who is really looked up in the trading community, itong triple digit return na tina-target niya, hindi niya to na-achieve like every single year. Okay? Hindi ganun yung performance niya. On average nga daw, ang performance niya lang is nasa mga around 40 to 50% per annum. On average. Alright? Which is actually interesting kasi if you try to look around our local community, yung 40 to 50% per year, and then sasabihin mo na, let's say, full-time trader ka, tapos yun yung nakukuha mo, minsan yung iba parang nabababaan doon. 'Di ba? Parang inisip natin na trading is not that 40 to 50% per year. It should be more than that. It should be like, sabihin natin, every month ma-double mo yung capital mo. Okay? But it's not really the case. Okay? So, hindi ganun yung sinasabi ni Mark Minervini na super performance. So, again, this can be relative from one trader to another trader. But the point is, this is the level of performance na hindi ina-expect ng ibang tao na makuha mo. Alright? So, be that as it may, okay? Maybe iba-iba tayong definition of super performance. Ano ba yung sinasabi niya na susi or things that you should be doing to achieve it? Okay, so we'll be going through this one by one. The first one, nasabi niya doon sa discussion nila is, you should not have any forced trades. So, no forced trades. Ano bang ibig sabihin nito? When you have a system and that system gives you a way to identify opportunities in the market, minsan yung process na yon, okay, para makita mo yung mga setups, para makita mo yung entries and exits, most of the time we bypass those conditions. Okay? Kumbaga parang alam mo na it's not really the right setup, alam mo na hindi pasado siya sa sa criteria mo, but still you decide to trade it. And ang napapansin ko, no, traders do that because either they get bored in the market, parang iniisip nila na wala akong ginagawa, so dapat may trade ako. Diba? Nagigilty tayo na pag wala tayong trade, feeling natin hindi tayo trader. Okay? So ako kahit in the early years of my trading journey, I'm very guilty of that. Kasi yung idea ko is, pag trader ka, dapat meron kang trade. Kung wala kang trade, what's the point of being a trader? So parang ganun yung iniisip ko. And maybe some of you also have that kind of mindset. So sabi ni Minervini, that's not actually the right mindset. Okay? Dapat wala kang trade na pinilit mo just because you're bored. Another reason why traders have forced trades is they want to get even with the market. Okay? Ito yung tinatawag nating makabawi. Okay? Makabawi syndrome, which is very common, especially if you are in a string of losses. So these are the things that you have to avoid. Okay? The first thing that you have to avoid if you want to get super performance. Dapat na wala kang forced trades. And in relation to this, sabi din niya is you need to develop sit-out power. Ano bang ibig sabihin nitong sit-out power? Bakit power siya? What's the hardest thing that a trader can, tawag nito? What's the hardest thing that a trader can master in his trading journey or in his trading career? Kasi if you think about it, 'di ba? Parang yung setups and strategies, you can learn that like over a month or 2 months. Siguro pag gabi-gabi mo yung tinitingnan sa charts, matututunan mo siya, 'di ba? Pero for me, the hardest thing that a trader can master is yung sit-out power. Ibig sabihin, ito yung ability to look at the markets every day, and even if you're looking every day, hindi ka matetempt na pilitin yung sarili mo mag-trade. So for instance, sa akin, no, like when I'm looking at the crypto market, I know a lot of you here are probably trading the market right now kasi maraming opportunities to the downside. Okay? Maraming shorting opportunities and there's volatility all around the market. And I respect that. I understand that. But if I stick with my system, alam ko kung ano yung edge ko sa market na to. This is the type of market na dapat wala akong ginagawa. Yes, everyday pa rin ako tumitingin. Everyday pa rin akong nagche-check ng quants, chine-check yung AMI broker ko, chine-check yung trading view, looking at what the market or where the market is right now. But honestly, I don't have any big trade for the past 4 months. Okay? So that's the kind of sit-out power that you need to develop. Now, obviously, hindi ko sinasabi na dapat ganun din yung gawin nyo sa crypto market. Kasi iba naman tayo ng strategy or iba tayo ng profile. But that's exactly what these big traders like tulad nila Minervini, yung ginagawa nila, they just observe. Okay? They need to observe first the market if it's according to their strength or according sa setups nila. So that's number 1. No force trades. Number 2, sabi niya, there should be no big losses. Now, this is common sense, right? But let me explain bakit kahit sabihin natin parang common sense siya, a lot of us fail to actually achieve this. If you're trading, the typical way of categorizing your results is either you're winning or you're losing, right? So marami kang trades, sabihin natin you have 20 trades, and you look at these 20 trades and titingnan mo kung panalo ka ba or talo per trade. Now, professional traders don't just categorize their trades according to wins or losses. What they do is they categorize them according to the degree of their wins and losses. So there are small gains, there are big gains, there are small losses, and there are big losses. And there, of course, there are break-even trades. Pero sige, alisin natin muna yun sa equation. So there are only 4 categories of trades in terms of results. Big wins, big losses, small gains, and small losses. If you only remove the big losses in the equation, automatically, consistently profitable ka na. Right? Of course, assuming na you have a good win rate in relation to your risk-reward ratio, which we'll be talking about later. Diba? So kung wala kang big losses, ang meron ka lang is small losses, small gains, and big gains, that's actually the winning equation. And if you have a journal, tapos let's say darating yung time na confident kang sabihin sa self mo that you're already consistently profitable, you try to look at your journal, mapapansin mo na yung mga small gains mo at yung mga small losses mo in terms of monetary amount, they just offset each other. Like let's say you have 20 trades na small losses. And then you have another 20 trades na small gains. So yung amount ng gains at losses mo in terms of monetary amount, nag-offset lang sila. So saan nanggagaling yung growth ng portfolio mo? It usually comes from the big gains. And if you're like trading the TSE tulad ko, and I do momentum or swing trading, that's always the case for me every year. Okay? Like in 1 year, if sabihin natin up ako ng 40% in my portfolio, that 40% growth usually, or hindi pala usually, it always comes from around 5 to 6 good trades for the year. Okay? So, meron akong let's say 50 trades or 60 trades for the whole year. Pero yung gain ko, kung bakit nag-grow yung portfolio ko, comes from only just around 4 to 5 or sometimes 6 to 7 good trades for the year. And I think the same is true even if you're doing day trading. Like every day, sabihin natin, meron kang 3 to 4 trades. So that would equate to around 100 trades per month. Mapapansin mo, yung 100 trades per month mo, most of your gains and losses, they just offset each other. Yung growth talaga is nanggagaling from a few trades na nasakyan mo ng mabuti and you were able to achieve the objective of the trade in terms of your target price or in terms of your trail stop. Alright? So yun yung second rule niya for super performance. There should be no big losses. And in line with that, dapat daw, you always need to respect risk and only trade proper setups. Okay? So, during the discussion sa webinar, meron silang diniscuss doon. Ang label nila is professional trading goals. Okay? As a professional trader, you need to have goals, right? And according to Minervini, meron siyang 4 na goals na every single day, every single month na nagte-trade siya, yun lang yung lagi niyang iniisip. So ano tong 4 na goals na to? Number 1, take minimal risk. Okay? Take minimal risk. Now, syempre as a trader, it should be part of your system na dapat minamanage mo yung risk mo. Right? Pero ano tong Minervini na take minimal risk? Ang dapat ba nito is parang masyado kang play safe? Does this mean na you need to be conservative in your risk na if others are trading, let's say, parang every trade nila, they're risking 3% of their account, ikaw ba dapat mga 0.5% account lang? The answer to that is no. Okay? Because risk is relative. Okay? Ulitin ko, risk is relative. What's risky for you or what's big risk for you may not necessarily be bigger risk or big risk for another trader. So I think yung ni Minervini here of taking minimal risk is first understanding ano ba yung ideal risk for your strategy. So this requires you to first understand ano ba yung nature ng strategy mo. And here in TR, even if we're using the ZFT system or yun yung foundation natin sa trading process natin, lahat tayo unique yung approach natin sa market. Sabi nga ni Adam Grimes, you don't trade the market. You trade your beliefs in the market. And there's a very big difference between just trading the market and trading what you believe to be true in the market. So I'll give you an example to that in relation to this. Some traders, they believe na yung Fibonacci daw, it's what's the right word? It's not working, okay? And I respect traders who say na yung Fibonacci na tool na ginagamit natin sa ZFT system is ineffective because to them, in terms of their process, in terms of their strategy, walang edge yung Fibonacci na yon pag ginamit nila. Some traders would even say that indicators are not effective. Walang edge daw sa indicators because they are lagging and derive lang naman sila sa price action. So why use indicators when you can just trade the candles, diba? Just focus on the price action itself. And these traders who are alleging na itong mga indicators, itong mga tools na ginagamit natin are scams, they are actually doing pretty well in their trading. So, how come na sa kanila, hindi gumagana yung tools na yon, pero sa atin, based naman sa nakikita ko, gumagana siya? It's because each of us have unique approaches to the market. Now, if we try to elevate that further, like let's talk about the big players, yung mga whales, yung mga market makers. Do you think that these market makers are actually using the same system that we have? Or do you think they're using moving averages or yung mga Darvas boxes? Kasi in my experience or based on my research, this is not the system of the market makers. The market makers are actually making money, but their approach is not price action. Maybe a little bit, okay? But most of these market makers, ang ginagamit nila is really, sabihin na lang natin catalyst, okay? Macroeconomic fundamentals, and also playing the crowd or playing the retail trader. Kumbaga, they manipulate the market to their advantage. Yun yung edge nila. And here comes you're using Fibonacci, you're using Darvas, and then nakita mo na effective yung mga tools na yon. Tapos here comes someone telling you na, hindi yan effective. So mag-aaway kayo. Di ba? Very common yan. Before, I observed that in the community. People are arguing which system is better. But if you think about it, it doesn't make sense to argue in that regard kasi we have different approaches. And it's possible for you to have an effective approach because that is actually what suits your strategy, and someone else using different tools and it also works for that person. Okay? So if your strategy can be subjective, the same thing is true for your risk. Okay? So let's say you're doing day trading, yun yung strategy mo. What is minimal risk for you? Do you think if you're doing day trading, minimal yung 5% ang i-risk mo per trade? So think about it. Ano ba yung nature ng day trading as a strategy? It's high frequency. So mas marami kang trades compared to the average trader. And you're actually capitalizing on intraday charts and very minute movements as far as the bigger time frames are concerned. Diba? So if you're taking 5% risk per trade, it doesn't make sense. Kasi based on the frequency of your trading, it's possible na ma-wipe out ka if yun yung gagawin mo. But if let's say you're doing position trading and position trading have very few trades, so okay lang in terms of the how the numbers would work out. Okay lang sa mga position traders na they take 3, 4, 5% risk per trade kasi kukonti lang yung trades nila eh. And once they hit that one big win na kailangan nila, their whole year is already compensated. Okay? Ganun yung nature naman ng trading nila. So understand what's minimal risk for your strategy. And that can be difficult, again, if you don't understand your strategy or the uniqueness of your strategy in the first place. So yun daw yung first na professional trading goal ni Minervini. Number 2, sabi niya, you need to capture relatively large gains. So ito na naman, nandito naman yung term na relatively. What does it mean to capture relatively large gains? It's the same thing with taking minimal risk. So relatively large gains means sa strategy mo, ano ba dapat yung ideal na amount ng gain para masabi mong mako-compensate yung mga losses mo. Okay? If you have a strategy na 1:1 lang, like your gains and your losses are just the same in terms of monetary amount. So what will happen if you only have a 50% win rate? Diba? Kung yung gains at losses mo, pareho lang sila in terms of amount, tapos yung win rate mo is 50% lang, what will happen? You won't grow your capital. Okay, you'll end up playing a break-even game. So, what are you going to do? You need to find a way na kahit 50-50 or 50% yung chance of winning mo, dapat meron kang mga few gains or few winning trades na yung size ng gains na yon is a little bit larger than your average losses. Okay? Now, if you do that, if you can achieve that over the long term, you're going to be consistently profitable. Mag-grow mo yung capital mo. Okay? So again, it's relative. For a day trader, that can be what is relatively large gain for that trader. Now, going to a different profile, like let's talk about trend followers. Ano ba yung relatively large gains for trend followers? So as a strategy, ano ba yung trend following? Riding the trend, right? Ibig sabihin, holding your position, riding the whole move, maybe even adding along the way as the trend progresses, and exiting once the trend is weakening or siguro talagang pag nasira yung trend. So, sa mga nagtatry dito mag-trend following, you will notice na may mga trades ka na ang mangyayari sa trades mo is up ka na. Let's say you're up already by 10%. And then biglang matatalo ka pa rin. So from 10% gain, magiging break-even siya or magiging small loss pa siya. Is that normal for trend following? The answer is yes. Kasi yun talaga yung nature ng trend following eh. Hindi 10% gains yung habol mo as a trend follower. Gusto mo big gains, okay? Kasi that's the only way for you to earn over the long run. So, as a trend follower, dapat tanggap mo yun, dapat accept mo yun na okay lang, magkaroon ako ng trades na up na ako ng 10% and then magiging break-even pa siya or at worst, matatalo pa siya. Because that's not the gain that I'm looking for. I'm looking for a bigger move. Now, if we transpose that to a momentum trader, tapos momentum trader na tinitrade yung PSE. So sa PSE, di ba? If you're doing momentum, a 10% average gain for your performance is the ideal level. So you won't allow yourself to have a position na up ka na ng 10% and then magiging loss pa. That's a mortal sin for a momentum trader trading a market like the PSE. Kasi pag ginawa niya yon, pag yung mindset niya is I want a bigger gain. I want to ride the bigger move. Pero momentum trader siya. Lahat ng mga trades na from 10% na naging break-even pa or naging loss pa, that would be the reason why masisira yung overall result niya. So, what's right for one trader is wrong for another trader. What's relatively big in terms of gain for another trader is relatively small for another trader. Okay? So dun, again, dito pa rin papasok na dapat naintindihan mo kung ano ba talaga yung strategy mo and ano ba yung profile mo when trading that strategy. Right? Number 3, third professional trading goal. Sabi niya dito, you need to learn how to maximize compounding. Sige, so let's talk about compounding. Yung idea ng karamihan sa compounding is, the more you win, the bigger your gains. Right? Because every time you win, madadagdagan yung capital mo. And the next trade, yung 10% of your portfolio before is a different amount now. So it's still 10%, pero since lumaki na yung portfolio mo, mas magiging malaki yung peso allocation or dollar allocation mo doon sa trade. So yan yung typical idea natin of compounding. Na if you do that consistently, yung 100,000 mo magiging 10 million pesos after 5 years. Okay? But it's not really realistic for you to think about it that way. And I will tell you why. Yung utak kasi natin, di ba, meron tayong limit in terms of handling financial amounts. So, di ba, mental wallet. Ayun. So, if you have, let's say, 100,000 capital and you can trade that 100,000 capital smoothly, nasusunod mo lahat ng rules mo, lahat ng strategies mo. So, nakaka-execute ka ng maayos. And it just so happen, yung 100,000 na yan, bigla mo siyang nadoble. Okay? From 100,000 naging 200,000. The moment you hit, tawag nito, times 2 sa capital mo, may leap yan. Okay? Meron yang parang biglang, parang anong tawag nito? Parang lukso ng dugo. Hindi lukso ng dugo. That's not the right term. Parang may biglang adjustment, okay? Sa utak mo na hindi mo kayang habulin. And traders are not really honest about this. Parang sasabihin nila na, hindi, okay lang, kaya ko lang yan. So, dumoble yung capital ko. So, this time around, I'm trading bigger size. But most of the time, hindi sila magiging comfortable with that new size. Kaya 'di ba, ang ina-advise namin sa mga traders na biglang nagkaroon ng sudden leap sa account size nila is withdraw the gains and reset your capital. Okay, we're not advising that or hindi mo 'yun gagawin just because kailangan mo lang mag-withdraw or kailangan mo lang i-reward yung self mo. Okay, it's not just about that. It's about resetting your mental wallet pabalik doon sa level kung saan ka comfortable mag-execute. Okay? So, 100,000, 2% of that, let's say you're risking 2% is around 2,000 pesos. Pag 200,000 na yan, yung 2,000 pesos na nakasanayan mong loss, magiging 4,000 na. So, yung 4,000 loss na yan, even if sabihin mo yung self mo na parang okay lang, it's something that I accept, there is an adjustment that you have to make na hindi yan agad-agad magagawa ng utak mo. Okay, meron yung delay. So, yun yung kailangan mong maisip. Maximizing compounding is not growing your capital from 100,000 to 10 million. Kumbaga, yun yung parang gagawin mo. Even if you're not really 100% capable of handling a bigger amount. Kasi that would do more harm than good to your capital. So kung hindi ganun yung dapat na approach, what should be the approach for compounding? So ito na-share ko sa sa mga dating episodes. Sabi ko, compounding is not, it should not be limited to capital. Okay? Or hindi dapat yung mindset mo na dapat i-compound mo yung capital mo. What you need to compound is your skill. Okay? So there's such a thing as compounding skills. Dapat yung skills mo aligned doon sa pera or doon sa capital na hinahandle mo. Kasi if there's a misalignment, kung hindi sila same level, then doon nagkakaroon ng problema. Doon mo mabublow yung account mo kasi hindi ka sanay makita yung amounts na tinitrade mo. Right? So you have to compound your skills first. If you are, let's say, good in trading, sabihin natin, gets mo na yung ZFT system. That's not enough. Okay? Hindi ka pwedeng mag-settle na gets mo lang yung system or natitrade mo lang yung system. You need to level it up. So how do you level it up? Right now, I get the system. I understand the ZFT system. Can I develop my own approach to this system? Knowing na I'm a unique trader, knowing na may sarili akong strengths and weaknesses, how can I further develop the system to fit myself as a trader, to fit my profile? So magba-backtest ka, mag-journal ka. Okay? Now, people will say na, kailangan ko ba talaga mag-backtest as a trader? Hindi ba yan parang waste of time knowing na proven and tested na yung mga strategies na yan? Okay? Some would say na parang hindi na siya kailangan. Pero ako, I would always advocate na if you want to level up your skill, you need to understand the system inside out. Kahit tinuro lang siya sa'yo. So, dapat ikaw mismo, gets mo siya, and you can replicate the system para in the long run, sabihin nating nagbago yung dynamics ng market, di ba? Hindi na nagwo-work yung mga ibang strategies na tinuro sa iyo. You have the ability to create or to develop the system that was given to you. Kaya mong gumawa ng sarili mong rules, kaya mong gumawa ng sarili mong setups or strategies na pasok doon sa profile mo. So that's one step higher just by having the skill of trading a system na tinuro sa'yo, level up yun. Okay? And others, I would say na you have to understand numbers, you have to understand math. Kasi if you're doing trading, you're actually playing a numbers game. Diba? A lot of the analogies na ginagamit nila sa trading is you need to trade like a casino. Diba? Narinig niyo na ba yun? So trading like a casino. Ano bang ibig sabihin yan? How does a casino make money? A casino makes money by playing the probabilities of the games na ino-offer niya doon. So yes, there would be gamblers out there na ma-hit nila yung jackpot, but in terms of probabilities, mas malaki pa rin yung chance na ma-extract ng casino yung pera from these people who are playing in the casino as opposed to people winning the money of the casino. So yung net effect ng game na nilalaro ng casino is still positive. And it will always be positive if the casino is doing everything right. So yun, there's an element of intelligence. Okay? Whether we like it or not, there is an element of intelligence and element of logic and skill na kailangan mo for you to be a successful trader. I have yet to meet a trader na parang hindi niya gets yung numbers behind. Okay? And most of the traders who you think are winning or parang kumikita ng sobrang laki. And these traders think na nagagawa nila yon kasi maganda yung system nila. But actually, if I'll be honest, looking at these traders, I know na many of them are having these results out of luck. Nagkataon lang na nag-trade sila tapos bull market, and then nagkataon lang na yung strategy na ginagamit nila is like ideal for the market kasi bull market nga. So yun, kumita sila ng malaki. And they end up thinking na what they're doing is effective. And yun yung pinaka nakakatakot sa trading. Okay? Yung pinaka nakakatakot sa trading. So listen, the market can reward you for doing the wrong things. Naisip niyo ba yun? Na since there is an element of luck, if wala kang if wala kang system, wala kang process, okay, you're not really that professional in your trading, there is an element of luck na even if you're doing everything wrong, the market can reward you. So the market is incentivizing you, it's motivating you to continue doing the wrong things kasi may nakikita kang gain na pumapasok sa capital mo. And it's just a matter of time na the market will turn, and then suddenly everything that you're doing is no longer working. So you begin to wonder, saan ako nagkakamali? Ano yung ginagawa kong mali? Bakit dati kumikita ako? Bakit ngayon hindi na ako kumikita? So you end up in this loop. Nakatakot yung loop na to na ni-reward ka for doing the wrong things, and then nung hindi na siya nag-work, you begin to think na ano yung kailangan kong i-correct, ano yung kailangan kong i-tweak doon sa ginagawa ko before para kumita ako ulit. In the first place, hindi talaga siya gumagana. Nagkataon lang na you are in the right side of probabilities. Okay? Nagigets nyo ba? So, a lot of traders are in that loop. Na-trap sila doon sa loop na yon. So, every time the market turns, yung nag-gain nila, binabawi. And then pag okay ulit yung market, kikita sila. Tapos, nag-turn, babawi ulit. So walang napupuntahan. So that is what I would like you to avoid. So going back, when you think about compounding, it's not just about capital. Level up your skill, level up your approach, your perspective, your expectations para hindi ka ma-fall into that loop, into that trap of just going in and out of how the market is playing you. Right? Number 4, sabi ni Minervini, be in the market as little as possible. So ito na naman, parang same doon sa sinabi niya kanina na develop your sitting power. Okay? Be in the market as little as possible. And ang na-mention niya dito is yung time daw na nanalo siya sa US Investing Championship, he was 155% up. Okay? Yun yung yearly performance niya. This is real capital, hindi to tulad sa tulad sa Instagrams na paper money lang or virtual portfolio lang. This is real capital. 155% up siya, and it runs for 1 year. Yung number 2 sa kanya is nasa I think 30% lang. So ganun kalayo yung gap. And the interesting thing about that time na nanalo siya is he was only in the market 50% of the time. Okay? Many big returns are achieved by being out of the market. I'll ask you honestly, guys, sa mga nakikinig ngayon. Pag hindi ka ba nag-trade for the past 3 months, okay, PSE mo na. So, if hindi ka nag-trade for the past 3 months sa PSE, do you think your performance would have been better? Kasi ano bang nangyari sa PSE for the past 3 months? I know there are setups, but may mga fake outs din, di ba? So, for sure, if you have a strategy, let's say you're a breakout trader, mananalo ka sa isang stock na to pero yung panalo mo mababawi lang din doon sa kabilang trade, right? So ask yourself honestly, pag hindi ka ba nag-trade for the past 3 months, would your performance be better? If the answer is yes, then that's proof of etong sinasabi ni Minervini. Na sometimes, all you need to do para ma-maintain mo yung edge mo is to not trade at all. To only participate if the market is really ideal. And I think meron siyang tweet. Very active kasi si Minervini din sa Twitter. And meron siyang tweet and I want to read that tweet sa inyo para kasi medyo related siya dito sa pinag-uusapan natin. Okay, so wait. Sino ba yung eto. So sabi niya dito, ito. So quote of the day. I think I need to flash this para makita ng lahat. So quote of the day. 40 years na, grabe, 40 years na pala siyang nagte-trade, no? So let me, wait, saan ba yung, baka ba ito ipapakita sa inyo? Just show it sa PowerPoint. Alright. So yan. Okay, kita nyo ba? So quote of the day. Courage is the most important, hindi, mali ito. Wait lang, ba't ito yung nakuha ko? Saglit. Ito pala. Mali yung nakuha kong print screen. So, this one. Saglit guys Quote of the day. Ayan, ito. Ayan, hirapan pa tayo. So, quote of the day, 40 years of trading has taught me that during volatile periods, parang etong market right now, di ba? I should always let others fight for the hard pennies and wait for easy dollars. Okay? So, ganyan yung approach niya. Kumbaga, if the market is in hard mode, and everyone, di ba, parang hindi clear, panalo ba ang bears, panalo bang bulls, sobrang volatile, pero it's a crossfire out there. Mas okay na siya na, sige, bahala kayo maglaban-laban dyan. Bahala kayo kumita dyan or matalo. Okay? I don't really mind. Okay? It's not the condition or it's not the game that I want to play. So I'd rather wait for easy money. Okay? And that's expected from him kasi ang profile kasi ni Minervini is isa siyang trend follower / momentum trader. Okay? So yun. So maybe that's good advice for some of you. So balik tayo doon sa natin. Sa discussion natin. All right. So that's number 4. Be in the market as little as possible. All right. So I'd like to conclude yung discussion natin now with the last 4 na sinabi niya dito na naka-help sa kanya para ma-achieve yung super performance. Okay. Number 1, sabi niya, timing. Okay. So ano tong timing? People na hindi nagte-trade would tell you na it's not possible to time the market. Okay? Kasi may mga dyan, may mga intellectuals dyan nang ang sinasabi nila is yung market daw, it's 100% efficient. So ano ngayon? Ano ngayon, coach, kung efficient yung market? Ibig sabihin, at any given point in time, the market is already factoring in all information and prices that in doon sa real prices na nakikita mo sa chart. So kunwari, if Bitcoin right now is at 16,000, so ibig sabihin, yung value ng Bitcoin now na 16,000, it factors in all the negative news, all the future possible events na mangyayari sa Bitcoin, nandyan na siya sa $16,000 na yan. Okay? So that's what we call the efficient market hypothesis. So you can Google about this if gusto niya siyang matutunan ng mas in detail. Okay? So the thing with that is if the market is 100% efficient, if it factors in and prices in all available information, it means it's impossible to trade it and win consistently over the long term. Kasi kung bumili ka daw at $16,000 now, eh yan talaga yung intrinsic value, yung actual value ng instrument na yan like Bitcoin, then the chance of it going up or the chance of it going down is entirely random. So hindi mo siya hindi siya parang it doesn't make sense to play the probabilities if ganun siya. Okay? So I know that can be a lot to absorb, but that's the thing, okay? Some people believe that the market is efficient. Pero tayo as traders, hindi yan yung belief system natin, okay? What we believe is when we look at the charts and may nakita kang setup. Let's say yung setup na yon is CH. So price just rallied and then now it's consolidating. If it's consolidating, the reason why you want to buy that consolidation is because you believe na the market is not yet pricing in possible future prices. So kung nasa 5 pesos ngayon yung market, yung stock na gusto mong i-trade, and it's consolidating, you believe na yung 5 pesos na yan, hindi niya pa na-factor in yung possible momentum or possible catalyst or kung ano man yan. So whatever the reason why it will go up, hindi niya pa na-factor in yun. So you're banking on the idea, you're banking on the bias na pag bumili ka ngayon, sometime in the near future, marirealize ng market na wait lang, itong 5 pesos na value ko ngayon, this is undervalued. So I will break out, okay? Price will rally because I need to get to that value kung saan talagang properly valued yung stock na to, yung coin na to. Okay? I'll give more examples about this, like yung sa telcos area, di ba? Why are bakit yung mga stocks back in 2018 when the telcos area was at its peak, bakit ang daming telco companies na biglang umakyat? So sabi nila it's speculation, di ba? Sabi naman ng iba it's because well, pag ikaw yung magiging next telco, then the speculation is yung magiging value ng company mo would be similar to PLDT or TEL in the future, di ba? So yung mga Now, yung mga ECP, even if they are companies na walang laman, okay? Technically basura companies sila. Even if that's the case, they're rallying 50%, 100%, 200% in a span of weeks just because of that speculation. But eventually, ang mangyayari is the market will realize na wait lang, current values doesn't make sense, okay? Hindi to yung actual value ng company right now. So ipa-price in nila and that's the reason why biglang babagsak yung prices. Okay? So tayo as traders, we believe that the market can be inefficient. So may mga instances sa market na parang mali yung value na sinasabi ng market. And dahil mali yung value, you can either bet na it's going down or it's going up. Okay? That's why there is an edge in what we're doing. Now, the challenge there is to identify kailan nangyayari yung mga instances na yon. So sa atin as traders who are trading technicals, our way for us to time the market is by looking at price, looking at patterns in price. Okay? So yun, you need to have a system on how to time the market. Yung number 2 na sabi niya dito is understanding turnover. So turnover, ito siya medyo this is not really about strategy. It's more about understanding how much you rotate your capital. Okay, so hindi ako magda-delve dito kasi hindi siya masyado related sa discussion natin. Okay. Number 3 na lang. Number 3 is about concentration according to him. So what is concentration? Concentration is trading with focus. Okay? Trading without getting distracted by what's happening outside of your trading universe or outside of your trading process. So, ibig sabihin nito, if you're a trend follower, anything outside of trend following, dapat hindi mo pinapansin. Okay? If you're a momentum trader, anything outside na hindi naman pasok sa concept or sa belief mo of what momentum is, dapat hindi mo na yung pinapansin. And this is very difficult, di ba? Kasi pag titingnan mo yung markets natin now, siguro dati okay lang kasi PSE lang yung tinitrade namin. Pero ngayon, ang dami ng markets na pwedeng i-trade eh. And yung only hindrance lang kasi dati, guys, kung bakit hindi kami nakakapag-trade ng US market or ng Forex or ng crypto is because in terms of mobility of funds, in terms of yung paggawa ng brokerage account and depositing money and withdrawing capital, hindi siya ganun ka-convenient before. Pero ngayon, it's very convenient, di ba? Regardless of the market that you want to trade. So, with that array of opportunities available for you, sobrang daming opportunities, sobrang daming markets, that is actually a double-edged sword. So, it's a good thing in the sense na kung walang opportunity sa crypto, edi lipat ka dito sa Forex. Okay? So yun, marami kang pwedeng puntahan. But it's also a bad thing in the sense na you would be spread out too much and your focus would be spread out too much. And alam natin yan na as humans, hindi ideal sa atin na ang dami nating binabantayan, ang dami nating ina-analyze. Okay? So, Minervini, classic example. Ewan ko ha kung may sinabi na siya about trading crypto, but as far as I can remember based sa mga sinasabi niya sa social media, parang hindi siya nag-trade ng crypto. Ang focus niya lang talaga most of the time or all of the time is equities, US equities. So bakit wala siya sa crypto? Eh di ba may ano naman doon, may pera naman doon. Well, kasi for him, focus is very important. Now, this doesn't mean na if you're trading crypto and US and PSE and all other markets out there, eh, agad-agad wala ka ng edge or you're not practicing focus. Because focus can come in a lot of ways. Kung wala man siya sa number of markets na trade mo, then maybe it's about knowing kung ano lang yung dapat mong tingnan per market. So hindi pwede na parang sa crypto, you're doing day trading, you're doing position trading, so nagte-trade ka ng futures, tapos meron kang holding sa spot na parang long term. Tapos at the same time, nagte-trade ka ng PSE, tapos sa PSE ganun din, may long term ka, tapos nag-aano ka din, nagmo-momentum. And then Forex, you're trying to learn it on the sides kasi sabi nila may pera daw ngayon sa Forex. Okay? If that's your approach, then talagang mababurnout ka. Okay? Talagang mawawalan ka ng concentration. Okay? So yun, that's something that you guys have to remember. And lastly, I think ito na yung parang pinaka-important as far as I can say about sa mga tips na binigay niya sa webinar. So sabi niya dito, always trade directionally and expose progressively. Okay? Ulitin ko always trade directionally and expose progressively. So two concepts or two advice na pinagsama niya into one. Trading directionally means to trade when there is a trend. Okay? So, in other words, if the market is in sideways, it's consolidating and there's volatility, yes, pero wala talagang clear winner sa nangyayari sa market. If that's the kind of market that you're participating in, it's better for you to just wait for clear direction sa market. So, if the market is in a long market, then it's best for you to trade long trades. Ganun lang kadali, but it sounds simple, but sometimes it's really tempting, 'di ba, to go against the trend. And okay lang naman 'yon, 'di ba? There will be good trades na you go against the trend kasi the trend is sabi nating overextended. So parang ngayon, 'di ba? May mga coins na nagrally but yet the overall market is bearish. So yung mga pinaka-ideal i-short are the coins na nagrally ng sobra-sobra to the point na masyado silang naging overextended. Okay, you look at Sir Alpha, kung nanood kayo ng webinar niya, 'di ba? Ang dami niyang magaganda na short and a lot of the coins na short niya are coins na nagrally ng unusually extended levels. Okay? So ganun yung pag-identify niya ng shorting opportunities, which makes sense because again, the overall market is bearish. But if you do that in a market that is bullish, it's not going to work. Okay? Yung edge nun, bababa. So yun yung mini Minervini na you have to trade directionally. Okay? And the second part of his advice is, sabi niya, to expose progressively. Ibig sabihin, do not come into the market and then just deploy your capital in one go. Okay? Hindi pwede na yung gagawin mo na parang okay na yung market, ito na yung hinihintay ko na condition. So you buy all the coins na pwede mong bilhin, and suddenly from being all cash, bigla kang fully allocated in one day. Okay? So that's not going to work according to him. So the way you trade, the way you expose your capital to the market is you have to do it progressively. So again, that's something na relative or subjective from one trader to another trader. So progressively for me can mean na parang first position ko, siguro 20% lang ng account ko. Okay? Just to test the waters. Tingnan ko muna kung ito ba talaga yung market na I want to participate. So 20%. So that one position, if it works to my advantage, so sabihin natin yung stock na yon or yung coin na yon, okay siya, up siya ngayon. So that's the time for you to add. Deploy ka na naman ng capital. Another 20 or 30%. Until such a time na you're fully allocated, pero you're not fully allocated agad to the point na expose agad lahat yung portfolio mo. Meron ka ng mga open gains, or kung hindi man open, like may mga na-realize ka na gains na yun yung parang magiging allowance mo or parang cushion mo if ever some of your positions do not work to your advantage. Okay? So of course, that's a topic na pwede pa nating pag-usapan in detail, but the idea of exposing progressively is something like that. Okay? Not just agad-agad 100% expose ka, but to do it slowly. Okay? To test the market until you find yourself in a position na up yung portfolio mo at kahit exposed ka 100%, allocated na yung capital mo, hindi yan yung parang pag lahat ng hawak mo biglang tinamaan yung cut loss, di ang laki ng magiging drawdown mo. So that's something that you have to avoid. Okay? So I think that's it. Any questions? Meron ba kayong gustong i-add or follow up? Ayan, sabi ni Sir Peter dito, Sir, kapag walang trade kasi iniisip ng trader, idle and not productive. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that you're idle, agad-agad, parang you're not doing trading. Okay? Kasi diba trading, hindi lang yun about actually trading, like actually executing. It's not just about that. It's about planning, analysis, looking at the markets, waiting. Lahat ng yan, that can be categorized under trading. Okay? So yun, dapat lagi nyo yung tatandaan. Right, so here we have a question from Sir Leovin. Sir, ilang percent po dapat ang gain after mag-add ng second allocation? So again, this depends on how you trade your strategy. Pero sige, I'll answer this based on what I do. So sa PSE, what I do is, normally I start with one position. Rarely do I start with 3 positions at the same time. Max na sa akin yung 2. So etong dalawang positions na to, let's say ang risk nila is 1% VAR each. Okay? So at this given point in time, sa dalawang hawak kong stocks, 2% lang ng account ko yung i-expose ko muna. So pag may isang position dyan na based on my process na pwede ko nang i-move to break even yung aking stocks. So technically parang wala na siyang risk. Okay? So pwede akong mag-add ng another position. So parang what I'm trying to say is at any given point in time, yung risk ko sa portfolio ko is I try to keep it at around 2% to 3%. So regardless na yan kung ilan yung hawak ko, I can hold, let's say, 5 different positions. Okay? And there are instances na umaabot ako na 5 yung hawak-hawak kong stocks sa PSE. Pero kahit 5 yung hawak ko, yung risk ko sa account ko is nasa 2% lang. Kasi yung tatlo is either they're already riskless kasi gumalaw na sila to my advantage, or talagang may gain na talaga sila. Okay? Does that make sense? So you can have your like own version of how you can do that. The point is, dapat hindi mo agad-agad i-overly expose yung portfolio mo. Okay? You have to do it progressively. Okay? Ano po yung number 3 sa keys? No first trades, there should be no big losses. Hindi, ganito siya. So yung keys is, marami kasi siyang parts sa discussion nila. So ibigay ko na lang yung link later guys. But marami siyang parts. Yung first two is, no first trades, no big losses. So yun na yung guiding rules. And then merong professional trading goals. So yung professional trading goals is apat yun. Take minimal risk. Okay? Capture relatively large gains. Maximize compounding. And then be in the market as little as possible. So yun yung professional trading goals. And then we concluded with the 4 keys to big performance. So number 1, know your timing. Number 2, understand turnover, which is hindi natin na diniscuss in detail. Number 3, concentrate, put focus. Okay? And number 4, you have to trade directionally and expose progressively. Alright? So yun. Grabe. The amount of learnings and insights that you can get today in the internet is talagang mind-boggling if you ask me. Like before ko lang i-end yung podcast Like I learned a lot of things. I learned programming, coding, Excel, trading, mindset, psychology, habits, everything just by putting in the time and effort to learn it on the internet. So itong mga sinasabi ko ngayon. The reason I can talk about trading and anything related to trading every Sunday, 'di ba? Parang ang ano na to, episode 50 na yung yung AskZFT natin. Hindi pa rin ako nauubusan ng kung anong pwede kong pag-usapan. It's because every time I go and try to learn new things, nakikita ko na online there's so much to share. There's so much to relay to the community. So if some of you are, sabihin na lang natin parang don't have the time to do that, don't have the luxury to learn new things kasi busy kayo sa work or sabihin natin may family kayo, 'di ba? So just spend an hour or 2 dito sa session natin every Sunday. And hopefully may mga matutunan kayo na bago. Okay? So, yun. Alright, so I think that's it for tonight. Meron pa bang questions? Follow up? Tignan natin kung meron pa. Alright, going once. Going twice. Ayan, so parang wala na. Okay. So I think that's it. Thank you guys for attending tonight's podcast. See you again next Sunday and enjoy the rest of the trading week. Good night.